Good morning, everybody on the Weejo Arts Facebook page. My name is Wendy. I'm at Weejo Arts, 508 Keystone Street, Hawley, as well as WeejoArts.com for stuffs. And in case some of you noticed, I also now have affiliate link with Paint Couture, which I'll explain that in a minute, where you can buy all your Paint Couture products. It's linked right into the live, so you can go there and get any of the products. I am going to pull up Facebook really quick while we are waiting for a couple of people to pop on. And if they're not, by the time I, get going here, then I'll just get going. So hold on one second. Okay, shut that off. Nobody needs to hear me. Okay. All right. Turn it back on, but make sure noise is off. There we go. Okay, it helps when you move around to see if it's actually running. It is. So I have been hemming and hawing about getting the Paint Couture online on my WeejoArts.com site, as well as on Etsy. They're both the same thing. Etsy, we pay a small fee, a percentage, kind of like a booth, for checkouts, whereas WeejoArts.com, which is hosted by Etsy, we do not. So, because we pay a yearly fee. Anyway, same checkout, just two different sites. You have to keep, in order to do this right, for me, I would have to keep two different stock levels on the Paint Couture products, which is what I do right now for the decoupage papers, and the journal supplies, and that's really hard with Paint Couture. And mainly because they have so many colors, so many products, you want to carry it all, but I can't carry two separate inventories. So I spoke with them and I got myself an affiliate link. Every time you click it, and buy something, I do earn a little bit off of it. It's, it all adds up. You do have to click it every single time though, for me or anybody else to get credit with any affiliate link you use. It's just how they work nowadays. So if you are buying anything online and would like to have me get credit, and I don't know why this is not working, hold on. Have me get credit, please use the affiliate link. I would so appreciate it. So let me do this. Let me do that. Let me try to get rid of my sound. Oh gosh, hold on. I don't know how to get rid of my sound, and I don't have my... Oh boy. Okay, hold on one second. Sorry guys. Let me just click that off. I'm trying so I can see comments if you guys pop on. There we go. Okay. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But anyway, we're going to work on this piece. We're just going to go right to it. If you pop on, say hi. If you catch this on replay, let me know. Most of you will probably be on replay. Last week, just a quick rundown. I painted this in grounded. Beautiful, beautiful brown. I used a mix of... Ooh, that's a little shaky. I used a mix of Vera at the Ballet, Firelight, and Caribbean Coral to do this part here. Did a raised stencil here with a little bit of embossing. Before I even started this project, like after I painted the brown, I went ahead and put transfers on it. But I don't like them now, which I knew was going to happen. I don't know why I did it. It's usually what happens. So when you're doing projects for yourself or even for a client, and you're painting a piece and you throw some transfers on there, they don't look right, you don't like them anymore, whatever, they didn't go on right, whatever, you should sand them off, just so you know. I am not going to do a complete sand off because this is in my shop, and I don't want it, plain and simple, don't want it. So also the reason why I have to take this off is brown is probably not the best background for this particular transfer. It's from Hocus Pocus. But this is an old plywood, and I don't know if you can see, but there's like lines all in it, the plywood grain. It's very old, and when I came back the next day, it actually kind of peeled a little bit. Normally transfers don't do that when you're on a clean, smooth surface. For whatever reason, it did it because it's not a smooth surface at all. So you just take your higher grade sander, sanding pad, and I already did this, but you can just rub it, get as much of it off as you can to make it kind of even. Now with this piece, it's not going to matter, mainly because of the grains that are in it to begin with, but I still want to knock a bunch of it off. I'm just going to do that really quick. That way I don't have some sort of weird halo when I go to paint over this, which is what I am doing today. I'm just using the back of it. It's kind of soft. The back of these are surf preps. I have a surf prep at home 3/4 ray, but so I use these. But I just want to get some of that off so that way there's not a very distinct line. And I forgot to bring my hammer again too. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up the Firelight, which is this really pretty orange. Really pretty orange. It's so pretty. So pretty. If you know the history of why I'm doing this, it's a challenge. Use the colors you don't like the most and do something with them. And, you know, challenges. Accept it. Whatever. I'll take it. So I'm just going to do the entire top with this for right now and bring it right down kind of into the raised stencil that we had going on there. This will take a quick hot minute. It's almost like a dry brush effect going over the raised stencil. And I'll probably only get one coat on, and then I'll have to come back this afternoon and maybe do a second coat, we'll see. But I just want to slap it on really quick, and then we're going to work with some foils and the brown, because now we need to get brown back into this piece. The colors I least like are these lighter color browns, pinks, not a fan of pinks, although I do have a thing of myself wearing pink. Whoa, I almost fell straight forward. Pinks are I'm not a fan of for the most part. And bright, hello, here I am, oranges, which is what this is. All right. I'm just going to get down over on this side, and then I can put this gorgeous color away. Pull it down a little bit. Tell all my customers, your first coat's going to always look a little wonky. You just deal with it. Let me push this completely out of my way so I don't accidentally kick or spill it. And I'm going to move you over here just a little bit so you can see this part. And we're going to do some stripes. We're going to use brown and foil today. I'm really kind of excited. So I have this gold foil. I used to retail Artistic Paint Studio. They have awesome foil. So I have this awesome foil here that we're going to use, as well as the Madagascar brown. Now, I just had tape here. Oh, it's over here. I'm not leaving my live. Technically, I'm not even in my live right now. Okay. Now, there are some people that will measure all of this out completely. I don't measure, much to the dismay of my husband. So you can use thick tape, unthick tape, thin tape, whatever it's called. I just try to generally eyeball it and find the middle. Try to keep it as straight as possible. This is where somebody's OCD, true like OCD, where things have to be very aligned, would probably not be beneficial to you, because there's already a wrinkle here that's like kind of going whoop. I'm going to put another one down. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit and stagger it and kind of try to follow the first line. It is easier if you have thicker. It's also easier if your piece is straight. This piece is not straight to begin with, but that's okay. Let's see. Bring it down just a little bit. This is already going to be very crooked, but that's all right. So now that I have those three lines, I'm going to bring this one over and just put it here. This can go right alongside of it. because that's about the thickness I want for a thing. This is going to come down just a little bit from this line. There's way more professional ways to do this. I would have probably used thicker tape if I had it, or at the very least doubled this tape up, but these things happen. So pull this one out. I'm going to pull it here. I'm going to sit down properly. Just kind of keep doing this randomly down. I should have had this done before, but okay. So this one. This one's going to come here. Like I said, if you like the very even stuff, do it that way. If you like where it's just kind of random, that's fine too. That's how I do it. I'm very random. So that's done, and I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm just going to set that here because I know I'm going to pull this one down. Oh, that's still a little wet, so I might have to fix that later, but I'm going to pull this one down kind of here. So that will give me my very uneven stripes. It's all about being professional here, guys. Okay, let's do this side really quick. That piece is not going to work. So I don't think I can see comments, or nobody's commented, which is fine. I see a few people are watching, so thank you. And we're going to bring this even, about even with this one. Oh, wait, no, we're not. We're going to pull it up because it's going up. I don't know what I was thinking there. That's on. Pull that one off. Put this one on. So basically this center tape is just giving you something to guide you. Of course, I bet you guys can guide a lot better than me, but my inability to measure things and even space everything drives my husband nuts. He builds. So he does his measurements wonderfully. And then there's me. It's about yay big. This long, that big looks good. But, all right, pull that down. Pull that off and get rid of it. And then we're just gonna pull this one right down the edge. This one's going to be a little thicker, whatever. And messed up on the bottom. Let's fix that really quick. I do suggest being a little bit more careful. Just take the whole piece off. If you're doing these to sell. Again, this is my own piece. It's staying in my store. Sometimes I do pieces to my store that show people what not to do, because it's always handy to see it as to why we don't do something. Of course, this isn't it, but well, that last one will just be brown, because there is a lot of space going on there. Okay, now that that's on, take that piece off. Kind of push those down. We're going to pull out the grounded. I'm hoping I have time for everything today. I always say I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing. When you're working with tape, make sure you take off as much paint as possible because otherwise it could get caught up underneath. And I'm not doing these super thick. I might have to get out a heat gun really quick too to dry this up a little bit. Normally you would use like an air dryer on cool setting because it's an acrylic paint, but I have a hair dryer. Just paint happily. Pretty little painting. I feel like I should be talking. I don't know why. I'm not doing super thick on these. This should actually dry pretty quick. That's what I think I need it to. Put that out of the way. Pull. See how they're starting to fade? They just kind of fade right up and in. Paper towel. I need a paper towel. Just to set these on too. Okay. You can do the next step with gold leafing. You can do it with acrylics. You can do it with metallic paint. Anything that you want to. The metallic paint, the new Luxe paint is out with Paint Couture. I don't have any here though, unfortunately. Ooh, I almost put my foot in that. I'm going to move some of these paints off to the side because I will be the one to knock it over. Okay. Artistic Painting Studio, I used to do their foils, and I love them. Even more so, I really like her adhesive. It's a nice thick adhesive. It goes on cloudy and dries clear. It's just a, this is the big can that I got a long, long time ago, so it lasts a long time. You need just a little brush. You don't need a lot of it, so you just put a little bit on. And I am going to just kind of randomly hit with no rhyme and no reason into here. And I'm doing this part first, where I haven't painted, just because I need it to kind of dry. And then I'll go through and I'll check the brown and see if some of that brown's dried, and then I can hit it on that too. So you don't need a lot. You could use chip brushes for this. I just use this little thing and wash it when I'm done. Seems to work. Some of that brown has already dried, so I'm just going to go ahead and cover some of that. You can already see over here where it's starting to dry a little bit. Gonna get a little up in there. Hopefully this does not pull the tape off. You really should wait like 24 hours before you do this to make sure your paint is dry, because if you remember, this is acrylic paint, so it does dry top down. So you want to make sure it's like truly dry, not just kind of fake dry, like dry to touch. Dry to touch for your second and third coats of regular paint, but when you're doing stuff like this, you probably should make sure that the whole thing is dry. But we're on a live, so it doesn't always happen. Let's see. Okay, so I have that on, and I'm just going to let that dry for a moment and pull out some of my gold foil. I'm also going to go grab a pair of scissors. Ooh. Some of this is a little thicker, so I'm going to try to pull it out just a little bit so it dries a little faster. This does tack up pretty quickly. Just, you're alive, so you're trying to get things moving along. So I'm just going to take the foil, cut it, and we'll see how this works, because it's not completely dry, but that's okay. We're just going to see if it'll actually stick when it's not completely dry. Why not, right? So you just put the back on, because you want the gold to actually show. And you can see kind of where it's sticky because it's sticking to it. You can take like a, any sort of stick and kind of push it down that way. I sometimes use my nails. I'm being very careful on this because I have some nails I haven't pushed in, so. And it did not set up enough. You can see some of the gold. I'll bring you in. Ooh, you can see a little bit of the gold here, but it's not tacked up enough. So I'm just going to let this piece sit on here and rub it back on, and we'll see if it'll actually make it stick. Probably not. I probably messed it up, but that's okay. What else is new, right? This all dries clear when it's ready. So, and you can touch it, and it's, so I kind of pushed it a little bit. I kind of shoved it along, which I probably shouldn't have done. So I may have messed this up. This is what happens when you don't prepare yourself beforehand, just so you know. Should have done the tacky. So the thing about Artistic Paint Studio's tack glue stuff, it is, in my opinion, I'm going to tell you right, in my opinion, it's the best. It really is. You can do it the night before, which is what I should have done, but then I would have had to do the stripes. So you can do it the night before, come back the next day, apply your foils, your gold leafing. It can be used for all of it, and it'll still be tacky. That's why I like it. I'm sure the other ones are really good too. I've used a couple of different brands, but I really like the Artistic Paint Studio brands. I don't carry it anymore, so you'd have to go online to get it. I think you can go right to their own webpage, or you can find a retailer, because there is retailers, and I know I'm pretty sure they still sell them online. I haven't really kept up with it in a few years. So, let's see. So yeah, lesson learned, make sure this goes clear. Once it's clear, you can actually do it, because it's not, well, I mean, it's giving you a little bit, but not what we need. Let me show you. So you can kind of see a little bit of the gold here, where it did tack up quite enough. But a lot of the tack is actually on my foil. So that was probably not one of my better ideas. Hey Kim, I'm messing things up over here big time. So yeah, do your tacking the night before with your tack glue, because otherwise we're just going to sit here and wait for a while and see if we can eventually use this stuff. I wonder if I can hot air. Let me see. Let me get a hot air gun thing that I have. Maybe I can heat it up a little bit. I don't know. I even know where mine are. All right, turn your, might as well play and see if we can mess this all up, right? Turn your volume down just a little bit, because I'm going to turn on this thing. Okay. Thanks, Kim. I'm glad you made it this week, although it is a hot mess this week. I mean, it's always a hot mess, but this week is really a hot mess. So we're going to see if we can heat this tack up just a little bit and dry it. I don't know if it's going to work, but I have a pretty white spot here that you can see. But I might as well test all this for you guys. Right? I mean, if it's got to get tested, might as well be me. So far today I've done really bad striping measurements. I've had to repaint the brown into the what I use, Firelight. Now I'm seeing if I can heat up tack glue. And this is why I refuse to call myself a professional. But if you can't play and make messes, then okay. So that's getting pretty tacky. So we're gonna try it again. I'm just gonna use this. This is the foil. Now that it's tacking onto my hands, I'm gonna try it down here. There are some things you really shouldn't rush, and this is probably one of them. Lesson learned. I mean, can you see the gold that's coming off? It's not horrible. It's not as much as I wanted, but it's not horrible. So we're going to go ahead and just dry this a little bit up in here. That side's almost dry anyway. I must have put it on thick over here. Now gold leafing gives you, fills in all the blanks a little bit better. I'll move this over closer once I get some of this on. to show you. But your gold leafing, the main difference between your foiling and your gold leafing is flaky, messier, but it will also fill in the entire area and not show as much like your brush marks, for instance, or your rubbing marks. Foil does show your rubbing marks. You can keep going back in, and I'll show you hopefully, if I can get this right. You can go back in where the foil didn't take and rub more into it, but you do have a higher chance of brush marks being shown with foil than you do, and rubbing, than you do with your gold leafing. Foils come in all sorts of different patterns and styles, whereas, yeah, that's not going good. Whereas your gold leafing is like gold, silver, copper. I think there's a patina type leafing now, I'm not positive, but there's limited options with your leafing because it's, you know, flakes of stuff. Comes on a sheet. It's not what I had planned, but it's what happens when you rush stuff. Don't rush your life, people. Remember when you were kids and you couldn't wait to grow up? You know, growing up's not too bad. Just saying. You get at least make messes still. My hands are tacky now too. So I'm just going to keep putting foil on. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can see everything. She's got like patina foil. That was really cool to play with. I enjoyed that. Yeah, she's got a bunch of different designs. You just have to look her up separately because, again, her retailers, because I'm not a retailer for them anymore. I just happen to have a whole bunch of this stuff around. All right, so let me try to get you a little bit closer. Moving in and up onto this side where it's not going to stick to my hand. Because I did put some in here. So you can see where you can actually, I don't know, it's still kind of tacky there. So you can go back in and you can reapply it, like re-push it, like get more in there. So you can fill it in pretty well. It's hard to tell where it's tacky because my hands are tacky. I think there's more tack here. Now the smooth surface, you can even take like an old credit card and just kind of wipe it down. But I think it just, when you use this sort of stuff, it just gives it that extra little, I don't know, color, little pop. Any color foil, gold leafing. So that was the area that had already kind of came off. So we're just kind of going over the sections. Now, leafing this sort of stuff it's a little bit harder to make it like perfect and into very set areas. Where you do have a little bit more control over the actual gold leafing, just so you know. Oh my gosh, my hands are so sticky. There's a little bit more here. I'm sure there's more sticky stuff down here. There's sticky stuff everywhere, including on me. I don't know if you can see down here or not. Oops. Oh, look at that. Can you see that down here? This really came through well. Imagine the more it tacks up, the better it goes. Oh, imagine that. So now that I'm just one big sticky mess, that is your foiling really messy stripes. And I think, okay, let me move this down. My friend Lori always said, step back from the thing. And I got sticky stuff now all over the cord too. This is a fun day. Let's see how it's going already. Okay, hold on, I gotta lift you up just a little bit. Go over my cord, there we go, sorry. So that's gonna be the bottom half of the piece. It starts about right here and comes down. I will probably mess around with it a little bit more, and then I will finish it and show pictures. Which tacky glue did you use, Kim? I use Artistic Painting Studio tacky glue. I have a big one, but you can go on to, it's either her webpage for Artistic Painting Studio or find a retailer, and it's called Artsyville Embellishments. I don't know if you can see that or not. I have the really big one from when I did retail them years and years ago, but you can get the small ones too. You can get a couple different, the small one I think, and then the big, I don't know, it's not a gallon. I don't think it's, maybe it's a gallon. Half a gallon? No. 32 ounce? Maybe it says on there. I don't know, but that's who I use, is I use the Artistic. I like hers. It has seems to really have the best tack in my opinion. When you let it set up. It takes a little bit to let it set up. I did not do that. As soon as it turns kind of a clear, you can go ahead and start applying your foils or your gold leafing. I don't know if she has gold leafing, but she has so many pretty foils. I'm sure there's more tack on here somewhere, but I'm going to stop playing with it for right now. So once you're done with it, and if you need to seal your piece, if you're using any gold leafing or foils or anything shiny like that, you're going to want to use at least a semi-gloss or a gloss, because otherwise you could dull the shine and it's not going to have that pop that you really wanted to. So you can get that right on the Paint Couture. Has the Extreme Guard as well as just the regular gloss seal coats. I use Extreme Guard for everything. If I have to seal, I might as well use the best. It's UV protected, water resistant, so I just use that. But not that it would matter in a piece like this. So if you're going to seal it, make sure you definitely use a gloss or a semi-gloss. And I think that's everything. It's going to be a very short live because I've totally messed this piece up. But you know what? It happens, right? I didn't mess it up. My lines, I like weird stuff. And for my own pieces, I like sometimes not having everything very uniform. My lines definitely are not uniform, but I don't know. I'm weird. I enjoy that. So I will see you guys. Hey, Leah, how are you? I'm making big messes. I didn't measure. So I will see you guys next Thursday, and I promise to think ahead, plan ahead. You know it's not going to happen. So we learned a whole bunch of what not to do today. And that would be that. I will see you guys next Thursday with less of a mess and probably still no planning. Talk to you later. Bye.